Hello, Strategic Management. We're Group 8, and our company is Berkshire Hathaway. My name is Troy, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway is an American holding company, and they're the 5th largest in the world. Their headquarters is in Omaha, Nebraska. They also have a global presence in a few of the industries they operate in. Now let's take a look at this video. From this video and this slide, we can see all the different industries Berkshire Hathaway has invested in, from the packaged food industry, to the insurance industry, to the financial industry, to the energy industry, and so many more. They have an extremely diversified portfolio crafted by CEO Warren Buffett. His success over the past 49 years has led to a growth on average of 19.7% in their book value. Although Berkshire Hathaway has had much success, after a thorough internal and external analysis of the competitive landscape and industries they operate in, we have a few recommendations to help them sustain their competitive advantage. Mergers, diversification, fit, and rebranding are a few that are applicable to all the industries that Berkshire Hathaway operates in. One of the largest concerns with stakeholders is the uncertainty of Berkshire Hathaway's future due to the lack of knowing who the successor will be to Warren Buffett. Headlines like this have been found in the news that shows concern with these investors. Warren has created an empire that has been unmatched by very few. This leads to the most important question. Will his successor fit? Given the feeling of uncertainty around Berkshire Hathaway, we have devised recommendations to solidify and create a strong foreground for Berkshire and its future. Now let's take it back to the studio.
Behind me are the stock charts for Berkshire Hathaway Class A and Class B shares. Berkshire is considered by many to be the best stock in American history, outperforming the market and the best mutual funds year after year. Berkshire consistently generates a positive alpha, which is unheard of any fund, index, or stock, over an extremely long period of time. Warren Buffett was in charge of Berkshire as they multiplied to 751,000 times their initial size. That was in large part due to the expansionary period that America was undergoing at the time, and many think that that can't be repeated again. However, Warren Buffett is the sole reason for Berkshire's success. He's the top dog, makes all of the decisions as far as investments, acquisitions, etc. When he passes away, the company is going to have to select new leaders, and that will certainly have some negative impact on the share price. Mr. Buffett is known internationally as the best investor in world history, and when he leaves Berkshire, we'll certainly miss him. Berkshire Hathaway happens to be a confederacy as opposed to the standard union that we see today in most corporations. That means that each of their business units operate autonomously and just contribute money up the ladder to Berkshire. This strategy has worked well for Buffett and Berkshire, and it allows them to operate in a kind of hands-off way that allows the companies acquired to maintain their management, their culture, and their individual fits.
Since 1965, Berkshire Hathaway stock is able to give returns of 21% annually. This is due in part to their aggressive acquisition strategy that they use as a firm of companies that fit well with their confederacy. Warren Buffett has been quoted that he only buys businesses that he sees that have owners that truly love their business, and he needs to meet with them before he buys it. An excellent way for Berkshire to acquire other companies is by using a strategy of vertically and horizontally integrating others into yours. This is a great way for them to capture more profit margins and also cut costs along their value chain. Vertically and horizontally or integrating is a great way also to reduce your threat of opportunism by buying other companies that could possibly exploit you up and down the value chain. Another great thing that vertically and horizontally integrating can do to help a company is to improve their structural functionalism. Specifically in the energy business, Berkshire Hathaway has started by acquiring Mid-American Energy, changing their name to Berkshire Hathaway Energy, and then acquiring 7 other businesses in the United States, Canada, and the UK, basically creating a conglomerate within itself. But is all this growth too much? Berkshire Hathaway needs to be careful not to fall into a growth trap. However, they do need to work on their global branding.
Thanks, Dwight. I'm Deanna, and I'm going to be talking about Berkshire Hathaway's global presence. Although some of Berkshire Hathaway's businesses are already global, several of its main businesses, such as their insurance and financial groups, McLean, and Burlington Northern Santa Fe, are strictly in the U.S. Even though Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway are not as famous to consumers outside the U.S., they are still ranked 5th on Forbes' list of the world's biggest public companies. With Berkshire Hathaway's proven performance history, strong portfolio, and constant returns, they have a great chance of continuing their success globally. There are several reasons, other than their massive success, why Berkshire Hathaway should expand all of its business segments globally. First, cost benefits. Labor costs in places like China and other parts of Asia are very low. The cost of manufacturing goods for companies like McLean, who have not globally expanded yet, would be significantly lower than they are now. If Berkshire Hathaway expands all of its businesses globally, they could move the majority of their production and manufacturing facilities global, and therefore significantly lower the cost of production. An example of a Berkshire Hathaway company that's already in the process of globally expanding is Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. As Buffett moves home services into Europe and Asia, he may want to consider co-branding. Co-branding would help Berkshire Hathaway create associations that foreign customers are already familiar with and can relate to. Using a think global, act local approach could help Berkshire Hathaway Home Services be more familiar to its foreign customers. A potential problem that Berkshire Hathaway could run into as they globally expand is weak currency. Other currencies are weaker than the dollar, and therefore revenue generated abroad will translate to less money.
Berkshire Hathaway has defeated many of the potential obstacles of diversification. There is no ambiguity as to what Berkshire does because for many years they have been a conglomerate. Although corporate managers may not have hands-on experience in the industries Berkshire operates in, there is a system in place to ensure this does not affect the businesses negatively. When Berkshire Hathaway acquires a company, they keep the top managers rather than replacing them with corporate managers. This also helps ensure that corporate entities stay focused on Berkshire as a whole rather than on the individual businesses. Resources are also not stretched thin as a result of diversification. Berkshire Hathaway operates many insurance businesses, which help keep liquid assets flowing into the company. Overall, Berkshire has a very strong diversification strategy, and the only recommendation to make is to keep doing what they are doing. One recommendation that could be made to improve Berkshire Hathaway is related to their brand power. Although Berkshire is a well-known, well-established, and well-reputed corporation, they have yet to consolidate their brand under an easy-to-identify corporate umbrella. Many large companies owned by Berkshire Hathaway, such as Geico and Heinz, could benefit from new Berkshire Hathaway branding. This could easily be done through a system as simple as adding a Berkshire Hathaway company after the names of their businesses. This would be similar to GE, a large, well-recognized conglomerate that brands many of their businesses with the GE logo. Implementing this new brand strategy may help consumers develop a relationship with Berkshire Hathaway as a whole, rather than just with their individual businesses.
Thank you, Nick. Now, if you guys could take a second to raise your hand and let me know if you know who this is. I'll give you a moment. Alright, well this is a video, so I can't tell if you guys are raising your hand, but I'm going to assume that you aren't. But you probably should be. This is Michael Porter. We've talked about him a lot. Michael Porter said, competitive strategy is being different. It means deliberately choosing a different set of activities to deliver a unique mix of value. This is Berkshire Hathaway in a nutshell. They're different because they have a diversified portfolio, and they're unique because they operate without letting others determine their actions. We talk about Berkshire Hathaway being different. First off, they're imperfectly imitable. We say this because no one feels as though they can match Warren Buffett's investing prowess. He said himself, diversification is protection against ignorance. It makes little sense for those who know what they're doing. What we're talking about here is the minimized risk through diversification, but this can worry investors. As you look at this image, Berkshire Hathaway invests 85% in just 3 sectors, those being financials, consumer staples, and information technology. But what we can say is that we're not too worried about this. These are all very important sectors that we don't see going away anytime soon. Because Berkshire Hathaway is so flexible, like we saw with other cases in the class with Apple and Nucor, they're able to adapt and change to the stocks around them. Because of this, we feel as though their differentiation strategy is an advantage and not a disadvantage.
Berkshire Hathaway's achievements are stemmed from the successful implementation of strategic management strategies. Their success has led to many investments and acquisitions of other companies such as Duracell, Heinz, Burlington Northern Santa Fe, Geico, and Coca-Cola, as well as many more. This strategic move defines them as a holding company that excels in diversification as well as vertical integration. The effectiveness of these strategic maneuvers has led into Michael Porter's FIT strategy. Being different and unique, Berkshire Hathaway's holdings have led to minimum risks with great reward. As a result, Berkshire Hathaway is on a continuing upward growth track to which they continuously expand and grow, as well as effectively implement barriers of entry and reduce the threat of new entrants.
You've taken the time to listen to our group discuss Berkshire Hathaway's competitive advantages, but we do have some final recommendations. These include continue being different, rebranding, choosing a successor, mergers, vertical and horizontal integration, acquisitions, and globalization. We thank you for taking the time to watch our video, and we hope you apply these strategies to your future careers.